This year's renewal are down at the start. Brief word on the mare, Davy. She's not without her chance, Spindlebury.
Not without her chance. The first time stepping up to 3 miles since she won a point to point. She's just another angle. We've seen them all before now, and they're getting ready to rock and roll up to the boys, I'd say.
Richard and Ruby, this is one to behold.
Ruby, you can feel it.
Oh, the crowd is humming, Richard. It's humming. It's building up to this. And look, I hope we've a good race. A real good race.
Just look at what's coming at you. You couldn't but have a good race. They're lining up. The flag is up. Racing for the Paddy Power Irish Gold Cup, and that's a postponed meeting roar as they make their way on towards the first. They're all here to see it. They're about to witness it. It is Affordale Fury who goes towards fence number 1 with Gallopin Des Champs. They take it together. Monty Star is close behind, and they're all over the first as they race now towards the ditch. And it is Affordale Fury with Gallopin Des Champs ridden right up on the pace. Monty Star, Spindlebury, and Fractifile with Champ Kiley next. And then I know the way you're thinking. Gaelic Warrior 3/4 ways back in front of Grange Clare West and Lecky Watson as they take fence number 2 back of the field. Firefox on the outside of I Am Maximus heading on now to go towards fence number 3. And it is Affordale Fury, and Paul was keen to go forward early on Gallopin Des Champs as well.
Yeah, and they went a really good gallop down over the first couple of fences. Gallopin has jumped them well. Spindlebury in the yellow colours with Danny Mullins has been quite keen, and Patrick in the pink on the very left of shot, who went at the very back. Gaelic Warriors come alive on him as well.
So they continue on down now towards the fence before the ditch at the bottom of the back straight, and it's Affordale Fury who leads over it from Gallopin Des Champs. Monty's Star on the inside is Factifile. Mistake, I know the way you're thinking there. Factifile's in 4th. Gaelic Warriors gone up on the outside of Spindlebury. Champ Kiley is next, and then Lecky Watson on the inside of I know the way you're thinking. Grange Clare West, I Am Maximus, and Firefox as they begin now to race towards the ditch right down the end of the back straight. And it is Affordale Fury, length and a half to 2 in front from Gallopin Des Champs, is going to rise in 2nd. Jumps it well. Back in 3rd, Monty's Star, and they're being chased by Factifile, who's good and positive towards the pace. Gaelic Warrior is up on his outside. Spindlebury's next, just in behind the leading group of 5. Then Champ Kiley, Lecky Watson the red down the inside of the Gold Cup winner. I know the way you're thinking. Grange Clare West, I Am Maximus, an Irish Entry National winner, and last of all is Firefox. Lecky Watson hit that one hard. That's just something you can't get away with in this company.
No, and interfered with I Am Maximus, who's just slipping through on his inside. The one that's really over racing is Gaelic Warrior. He's now gone 4th from having been very drop in, and the one who's racing much differently today, Factifile, has come alive, is I know the way you're thinking. Green cap with the white star. He's a different horse to the horse that was here at Christmas.
Well, they turn in to make their way up the straight first time and on towards fence number 7, and it is Affordale Fury, the Savills winner, who leads the 3-time winner of this contest. That's Gallopin Des Champs, then Monty Star as they come towards this one. Next up is I know the way you're thinking with on the near side Gaelic Warrior. Further back behind these to Champ Kiley. I know the way you're thinking. It's just in front of I Am Maximus. Grange Clare West towards the outside. Next up Firefox and Lecky Watson is last of all as they come up now to past the stands. They'll get a reception this time around. They'll really get it next time. It is Affordale Fury who leads from Gallopin Des Champs, Monty Star and Factifile, Gaelic Warrior, Spindlebury, Champ Kiley, I know the way you're thinking in Grange Clare West, I Am Maximus, Firefox and Lecky Watson. It's quite the roll of honours. They make their way on towards fences 8 and 9 away from the stands. Affordale Fury, the son of Affinity, leads Gallopin Des Champs, being followed by Monty Star and Dara O'Keefe. Still Patrick fights with Gaelic Warrior on the outside. On the inside the mare, Spindlebury, under Danny Mullins, bidding to be the first mare. She's unbeaten over fences. She just reached at that one and just guessed a little bit at it, Ruby.
Yeah, she's been on Danny's hands as well. She needs to relax now and get back into her rhythm. Paul has switched wide here now on Gallopin Des Champs, out over in front of the Gaelic Warriors, going to go outside Affordale Fury, but Affordale Fury does have a tendency to jump right.
So they go over the next and make their way now towards the turn that'll bring them around towards the back straight, and Gaelic Warrior continues to find his way moving forward, and it's almost, you'd say, possibly Gallopin Des Champs gone to the front, but on the inside, Affordale Fury's advantage on the inside will allow him to press on. So it's Affordale Fury, and in second is Gallopin Des Champs. Monty Star and Gaelic Warrior dispute the 3 forward, Factifile 5. They've opened up a half a dozen lengths in front of Spindlebury and Champ Kiley, who keep company. Grange Clare West, I know the way you're thinking. I Am Maximus is moving forward now, trying to pick up a position at the expense of another way you're thinking. Firefox and Lecky Watson are the back pair. 6 big fences coming up now, and over in front, Affordale Fury. Good jump, Gallopin Des Champs, moved right up almost on terms. Back in behind them in 3rd spot is Monty Star, Gaelic Warrior and Factifile. A break to Champ Kiley. Spindlebury's next, and then Grange Clare West on the outside of I Am Maximus. I know the way you're thinking, just hasn't got with the leaders as they make their way on down along the back towards the second one of 6. It is Affordale Fury in front of Gallopin Des Champs. Gaelic Warriors back in 3rd, and they've been chased in 4 by Monty Star. Then Factifile is right there on the inside. Next up Champ Kiley. I Am Maximus continues to cut through horses. Spindlebury has now been bypassed by him. I know the way you're thinking is going up on the outside of Grange Clare West as they race now towards the ditch. right over the far side, and it is Affordale Fury from Galopin Des Champs. Right behind them is Monty Star, and they're being chased by Factor File, and on the outside is Gaelic Wire. So little between them and the John Durkin. They're locked together now, but up front it's Affordale Fury with Galopin Des Champs on the near side as they come towards the next. Monty Star is next, and Galopin Des Champs has just hit the front. You can almost hear it.
You can feel it anyway, Richard, from the crowd below us. He's travelling nicely. Patrick is on his tail. Mark Walsh is happy in the white cap. Spindleberry is pulling up, and the one that's going to stay on will be another way you're thinking, and I am Maximus. They're not out of it either.
Disappointing. Spindleberry has pulled up, but Galopin Des Champs landed in front from Factor File, who travels very strong in the hands of Mark Walsh. In between them, Monty Star runs a big one. Just behind the leading three is Gaelic Wire. Affordale Fury's come under pressure. I am Maximus continuing to try and stay on with Champ Kiley. I know the way you're thinking in Grange Clare West. They head down to the big ditch at the back of the back straight. Monty Star pokes his head in front just. He's Factor File and Galopin Des Champs. Big jump the outside. Little between the three as they now make the turn. Gaelic Wire's dropped a little off them, and it's Factor File on the inside. Monty Star the outside, and Galopin Des Champs just nudged along behind them now, and Monty Star's running a massive race here under Darragh O'Keefe. Factor File's on the inside, Mark Walsh. Galopin Des Champs and Paul Townend has a big task on now as they begin the turn towards home. Gaelic Wire, Champ Kiley from a long way back, then I am Maximus and Firefox. They begin the turn towards home, and it's Factor File on the inside. Monty Star's come under pressure. Galopin Des Champs the same, but he'll come up the straight. Then Gaelic Wire trying to come back at them. They turn towards home, and Factor File is beginning to push them all under pressure. Gaelic Wire, Galopin Des Champs and Monty Star. Then comes I am Maximus and Firefox. They've got one fence left to jump, and it is Factor File, who's so good over 2.5. He's in uncharted territory now, but he's proving it's working from so far. Trying to stay on his Gaelic Wire. Galopin Des Champs will have to give best back in third, and as they race up inside the closing stages, we lost the Gold Cup winner at the last, but it is a new ground to be grounded in the Irish Gold Cup. It is Factor File who is staying every inch of it, and there's new territory for him. Factor File, ears pricked, and more to come. Gaelic Warrior second, back in third. Galopin Des Champs gave all he could. Firefox was 4. Then I am Maximus, Monty Star and Champ Kiley. And the final finisher was Grange Clare West. Keith Donoghue is up from his fall at the last. We'll report later on another way of thinking. Well, we all thought that maybe there was a performance like this in Factor File. Today we saw it. Big double up for Donegal Doyle the last 2 races. Big weekend for Mark Walsh.
Oh, huge weekend for Mark Walsh, John J.P. McManus and Willie Mullins. In Factor File, ridden much differently, Richard. Ridden forward, loud gallop and jump, and you saw a different horse this afternoon. Galopin has gone out and he soared in third place. Gaelic Warriors run a cracking race considering how free he was to finish second. But look, we wanted a horse race, you got a horse race, and look, you always felt that Factor File was a really, really good horse in the stayer. He was disappointed in the King George, but slower surface today. He's jumped brilliantly under Mark Walsh, and he just kept the tempo up. There was a strong gallop early. Affordale Fury pulled up, Spindleberry pulled up, so did Lecky Watson. This fella went with them, and he just kept in the ante from Gaelic Warrior in second.
He stayed so well, and he pricked his ears like
Look at him going to the line.
Any
he
doubts about stamina?
And jams
Yes.
on here now in a second.
Watch his ears prick. Just at the line. There's plenty more on that tank when you want it. There you go. Plenty more to come from him. And as we've been saying for most of the weekend, it is Katie and Mark Walsh.
Mark, absolutely brilliant. He was electric today.
Class, a bit like Majbury yesterday. That's the real Factor File today. He didn't show up in Kempton. The ground was probably too quick for him. He was never happy. I was never happy on him in Kempton. So he's after showing us today what we always knew he could do, and he's done it.
He's some jumper though, Mark, isn't he?
Class, sure. Like just a passenger. All I do is steer him. He's so clever. Popper come along, you just leave it to him. He's one of them horses that's a joy to ride.
And he was actually quite free in his stages over the years, but as he's grown up, like everything, he's just taken it all in his stride now, and he was a gorgeous ride today. Handy, ears pricked, watching what he was doing, just looked savage.
That's it, as you say, sure. When they get a bit older, they get a bit clever and they know what they're doing. So yeah, he was fairly keen here. His 2 runs last year over 3 mile behind Galopin Des Champs. But he's learned so much now. He's the complete package now.
And down the back, when you see those 6 fences, bang, 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 he never missed a beat. Where did you think, I knew off the bend they were going to be hard to get to you, but where did you feel, I have this?
Well, I jumped to the front 4 out, which was a mile too soon. I didn't want to be there, but I let him use his jumping. There's no point taking him back. And I knew jumping second last. I just gave him a little squeeze after, and he pricked his ears. I saw plenty left. And up the straight now, and you can see him after the last. He's looking at the crowd, he's pricking his ears, so there's plenty left.
This means a lot, Mark. This is a big day, and it's been a big weekend. 4 great runs. You couldn't write it.
That's it, so long may it continue.
Brilliant. Mark, enjoy every bit of it. Absolutely savage.
Thanks, Kate.
A horse that promised so much. He won a Ryanair last year. He doesn't even have an entry for the Cheltenham Gold Cup, but you would suggest, Barry, after a performance like that, they might just be supplementing.
Well, the winner was supplemented last year. I'd say there's going to be a good chance we'll have a supplemented horse again this year. But a brilliant performance. And Galloping the Champ ran a great race, but fact to file, I was drawn to him the whole way. Here we are. I think it was that the fourth last Marcus jumped through, and just watch him. He's pricking his ears. He's travelling. He's going easier than anything. Paul had been switching in, switching out. There was little telltale signs. Is he really as happy? Galloping the Champ normally travels through this race, with more of a handful potentially, Davy, than he did today.
Yeah, and Paul was very aggressive on Galloping the Champ. He was giving him every chance to go and run his race. But Barry, there's night and day, and there's Mark Walsh riding big winners around Leopardstown. He is brilliant around here.
No, Mark is brilliant, great rider. This is a super horse though, and he rode him beautifully. But the horse makes it easy for him too. Rolls down second last, tricky fence, measure it, pops it, land running.
And the speed at the back of it, just clasped back on the bridle, and Mark again. On this ground, the important thing is whoever can fill up their horse's lungs as many times as they possibly can. And with a horse like this, when he jumps that quick, he can sit up and let him fill, And
the pace he showed to run Gaelic Warrior so close in the John Durkin over 2.5. When you have a horse that you can step up to 3 mile and see it out as well as this fella does, he is a class act. He's finally now starting to fulfil the potential that we all thought he had as a novice. He was brilliant in the Ryanair last year.
Isn't he?
Oh, he is in every sense. Walking around the ring, he's an X-Factor horse.
Yeah.
And then on the racecourse, the same.
He'd really fill your eye. Credit to the horse in second. Gaelic Warrior never settled. Maybe he is the Ryanair horse over a shorter distance. He's run a massive race considering he never really gave himself a chance to get home.
No, he did well because he was keen, but another Willie Mullins horse running keen and still getting to the line. They're so tough, they're so durable. But it was a great performance.
There's a round of applause here for
definitely a big
Galloping the Champ walking away from the third position. That's a real sporting crowd.
Cheering him back in again,
Yeah, that's fantastic. Galloping the Champ goes out in his shield today. He finished third, but the winner is in your shot. It is fact to file, and he's going to come back to a rapturous reception. JP McManus came in here with a strong hand. Maximus finished 5th. I know the way you're thinking fell at the last, but fortunately he has got up unscathed. But your winner is now a 5-time Grade 1 winner. He's won 7 races, including a Ryanair, but today he's taken home an Irish Gold Cup, a 4th Grade 1 of the weekend for Mark Walsh. What a tribute it is to his talents this weekend and the talents of his trainer Willie Mullins, taking home a 15th Irish Gold Cup. Galloping the Champ couldn't quite emulate Flower de Pearl, but he will be back. Today is JP McManus's day. It is fact to file, and it'll be a fascinating interview when Brian Gleeson does get winning connections. What a race it was to savour. There was an awful lot happening throughout, Davy. You could look everywhere. You could look at Gaelic Warrior. You were looking at Maximus. Affordale Fury on the front end couldn't sustain it. Firefox running a career best. Spindleberry pulling up. So much happening.
There was so much happening, and again, as we said, the horses got into the rhythm early, had a huge advantage. And this horse, Mark had him in his rhythm really early. Paul had his horse in the rhythm early. There was all them horses that ran well, were in the rhythm on this ground so early, and that trend continued through the whole race. As we saw, Spindleberry raced a bit on and off it and a little bit keen at times, and she suffered. And again, as Barry said, the one horse that over-raced and finished his race was Gaelic Warrior,
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we learned an awful lot today. We'll see what price he returned, fact to file, as Mark Walsh debriefs Willie Mullins, JP McManus and Frank Berry. The Paddy Power Irish Gold Cup was won by fact to file at 9-2, beating Gaelic Warrior, who was 4-1 in second. And the champ Galloping the Champ was third at 15-8. We must take a breath, and after this break we will review the Irish Gold Cup.